here's something I was looking up on Jaden Ivey because I'm just thinking, when's he gonna go? Because doesn't it feel like he's got it, he's got the game, but like when do you go? So I just looked up a couple of random guards: James Harden, Ray
Oh,
Allen,
those
Dwayne
aren't
Wade.
random.
Just yeah, just a couple random. Let's just
Just
see. And
random. Some of the best of all time.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But what I wanted to do is when do they really take off? And it's
Sure.
amazing. It's remarkable. I did this with Jalen Duren as well, just kind of comparing him to Bam Adebayo. It's like everybody takes a couple years before they take off. So let me just tell you James Harden, just for fun.
Okay.
James Harden averaged 9 points, 12 points, and then 25, 30, the rest.
Okay.
And
Yep.
then
Year
let me go
three.
to Ray Allen, 10 or 13 points, 19 points, and then 25. So it
And you
takes
think Ray Allen would have been more ready coming out too?
yeah,
That's helpful.
yep, exactly. So it doesn't matter who you are. It takes a couple years in the NBA game to figure it out, and then you
Yeah.
go. So your thoughts when you see him, and just it's like, do you see the path to being really good, or do you still have some concerns with him?
There's certain things that I have concerns, but for the most part, yeah, I absolutely see the path. And I think the
Yeah.
reason I see the path is you were talking about what people are doing year one. Ivy was 16.3 points. He shot the three better than we thought at 34%. And I think that one of the big knocks on him coming out was two things, honestly. We knew he could get to the hoop, but could he shoot the three? Where was his mid range jumper? We'll go three things. And what about his on ball defense? He dramatically improved in all three areas as the year went on. To see him do that makes me realize like dude wants to improve, dude wants to be better, and he's willing to put in the work at the things he's not great at.
Yes.
That's why I think he'll be better because he has all the athleticism in the world, right?
That's the key with him is athleticism's there, and can you see the game and just be a basketball player, and the stuff will come as he learns the NBA game versus, and that was it. Remember we talked about him coming out of Purdue. We're like, he's going to be better in the
Yeah.
NBA, but it's so different in the NBA, and that's what he's getting used to because at Purdue, a couple guys in the paint all the time. It's so
Yeah, I remember those
different.
days.
Yeah, so to have an opportunity for him to get out in transition more, just all kinds of stuff. And that's what I've noticed
Yeah.
about him and his game is like he's looking to run. And I don't know if we'll do that like as much as he wants to or whatever, but like his strength is using as his athleticism in space, open, and he's just going to get more and more confident with that, hopefully.
So can I give you a little something cool?
Yeah.
At the end of the Pistons Magic, the first summer league game, he was doing an interview. It was with him and I want to say Wiseman because Wiseman had a good first game. First game. We'll talk about that later. But Jaden Ivey, they're like, what do you need to do? How can you improve? And he's like, I have to get my teammates involved more. Like he was talking about some of the shot selection. He was 5 of 19. I don't know if you know that in game one. It was rough. So he says, I need to get my teammates involved more and I need to do a better job of having the right shot selection. He had 4 assists. He was 5 of 19 in game one. In game two, this is just shows how quick when he makes the decision, it's done. Game two, 10 assists, 9 of 15 from the floor. So 4 less shots, 6 more assists, significantly more efficient. Thank you very much. Jaden Ivey, you understand how to play the game of basketball. My question is he going to keep playing in Summer League, or is it time for him to sit so we can see Sasser and see if he has potential as a point guard?
Yep. And because let me show you
that later.
Yeah, and we'll show you his third quarter here.
Oh, yeah.
In a 3-minute stretch, found Thompson in transition for a dunk. Transition, loves it. Knocked down a 3, hit Duren for an alley-oop dunk, and then completed a 3-point play for his 20th point of the night, all right in 3 minutes. And it's like, that's what we're talking about. Ivy kept it rolling in the fourth, finding Wiseman for an alley-oop, less than 2 minutes left to cut the deficit. So it's like, boy, if he can slash, finding that transition, hitting guys open for 3, he's hitting some buckets. That's what we're talking about. That all-around game is what you're talking about for sure.
Yeah, and it was basically Jaden Ivey versus the Rockets in game 2. He honestly played really, really well. We ran into red hot Jabari Smith Jr., like red hot, until we put Asar Thompson on him. That shut him down a little bit. How about that? Sure, it was the last minute and a half before we figured it out. But like it's summer league. You have to take all these things with a grain of salt. Like when Jaden Ivey came out for his first game of summer league, I was like, oh no, like this dude should be very easily dominating. Like he should be running this, and he's not dominating. He's shooting poorly. He's got 6 turnovers. Like it did not look good. And then he came out game 2 and it was like, oh yeah, that's right. Everybody can get a little rusty. That's okay. Everybody can get a little rusty. He'll be fine. He had 10 assists to 4 turnovers in game 2. Like, and he just looked like he was playing within himself. And I remember him doing that last year at Summer League too. I think he loves basketball so much. I think he wants to play so bad that he just gets so darn into it that like he can't throttle himself down. And then when he finally does, it's like, okay, thank you. All right, play within yourself. It's going well.
And you mentioned Asar Thompson with his defense, and that's something that was really nice to see. Was he got scored on a couple times? He's not a lockdown defender, but he's not getting bullied. He's not he's not just like out of position, getting burned, like can't keep up with the quickness. It's like he's right there, and a couple players made some really good tough shots on him, but it was not. Or you just watch his defense, and you're like, look at that, like. So your thoughts on his defense? I mean, because that is encouraging.
Yeah. So his defense to me was phenomenal. In fact, every part of his game outside of the shot is exactly what I thought it would be or hoped it would be, and probably more. His defense is where I hoped it would be. His defense is where I hoped it would be. His creation for others, his ability to move the ball, his offensive rebounding, his defensive rebound. Everything else is above where I thought it would be. His ability to get a shot against defenders, not where I hoped it would be.
Okay.
But players who keep the ball moving, who are elite defensive players that can get shots for others and fill the stat sheet. I mean, like walking triple-double in summer league is not an easy thing to do. You know, he had that Draymond Green triple-double stat line type of deal with the 8 boards, 6 assists, and 12 points. Right?
Yes.
It's not the 30-point triple-double, but you know, filling the stat sheet with 10 to 14-point triple-doubles. I think he could be that for this team, and that's what they need. They need a connector that's going to keep the ball moving between Ivy and Cade and the big men. They need a guy doing that.
Yes, and it reminds me of in hockey, you make or soccer, you make the littlest touch or littlest thing that is such a big difference maker. And he did that in game 2, where just a quick an easy pass that looks easy when it's all done and you get a layup or a guy's wide open, but it's like that's the stuff. It's easy, simple passes. He can see the floor. Just what you're saying. You need that guy to unselfish, and that wouldn't that be great? You're the Draymond Green not triple double, but stat line of 8 points, 8 boards, 8 assists. Like even just something small. Like who cares about the points? The guy is doing everything else really well.
Yeah, I remember there was a year and this is off script. There's a year in fantasy basketball. Yes, I'm a nerd who plays fantasy basketball. And I remember I had Harden. It was 2 years ago, and I was trying to trade him away. And I got 2 good players, but the player that I needed was Draymond Green, because the reason everybody loves Harden is because he's a triple-double waiting to happen. Well, so is Draymond Green. So I filled that, but then I think I got DeMar DeRozan and something else in the deal as well. So like that's the kind of player we could get, but he's much more athletic.
Yeah.
And he showed that like he's strong enough. His ability to jump over people for rebounds was pretty remarkable, wasn't it? And I know this was a Jaden Ivey video,
but no, let's start. You nailed it. Everything but the literal shot, which again, it's been 2 games, but you can already tell this guy gets the game. He gets
he does.
He gets all the categories. So let's switch gears.